San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994.
We'll begin the opening ceremony in 1 minute. If we could have our teams line up, we'll be starting in 1 minute. The Utah High School Activities Association joins with their sponsors, Mountain America Credit Union, Jerry West, Wilson, the Shirt Stop, McDonald's, and the Deseret News, in welcoming you to the 2A and 3A State Softball Championship game. The UHSAA would like to thank everyone that has made this tournament a tremendous success. Starting with our crew of umpires under the direction of our umpire-in-chief, John Beck, and our scorekeepers, announcers, gatekeepers, and session crew. Special thanks to the Spanish Fork Softball Complex Facilities Director Mark Rouge for hosting the tournament, and Ground Supervisor Taylor Banks and his crew for the incredible job they do in preparing the fields for play. Success takes teamwork, and these teams appreciate the support they have received from their parents, family, administration, student bodies, spectators, and fans. Throughout today's championship game, please be an example of good sportsmanship, demonstrating respect for the players, coaches, and officials. By so doing, you will show your positive support for the mission of education-based athletics in Utah. At this time, let's welcome onto the field the two teams that will be competing in today's 2A state championship game. First, the visiting team, Enterprise Wolves. Now the home team, the Duchesne Eagles. Let's give these two teams a round of applause for their great success. Now let's welcome onto the field the two teams that will be competing in today's 3A state championship game. First, the visiting team, the South Summit Wildcats. Now the home team, the Manti Templars. Let's give these two teams a round of applause for their great success. The Utah High School Activities Association would like to recognize the seniors on all teams by having them take a step forward. Join us in congratulating these seniors with a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the presentation of our colors. We pause to honor America and those valiant men and women who fight to protect our freedoms as we enjoy this game today with the playing of our national anthem. this time, let's meet the 2A players and coaches. First, for the designated visitors, the Enterprise Wolves. Our non-starters today, number 4, Kylie Bundy. Number 9, Taya Jones. Number 11, Taylor Platt. Number 13, Kyla Humphreys. Number 14, Daisy Terry. Number 16, Kimberly Bundy. Number 17, Hallie Christensen. Number 18, Cassidy Bundy. Number 19, McKinley Hunt. Number 21, Paige Bowler. Number 23, Sarah He Hernandez. Number 24, Kennedy Drake. Number 25, Tristan Dolly. And 28, Alana Bunker. And for your starters today, number 2, Rebecca Hess. Number 3, Treasure Phelps. Number 5, Macy Hunt. Number 6, Blakely Christiansen. Number 7, Haley Drake. Number 8, Noah Moyle. Number 10, Addie Nelson. Number 12, Riley Reber. 15, Madeline Grob. And number 22, Brooke Humphrey. Head coach, Katie Jones. Assistant coaches, Carol Gilman, Amanda Jones, and Kindy Christensen. Principal, Calvin Holt, and Athletic Director, Warren Richens. Now for the designated home team, the Duchesne Eagles. Our non-starters today, number 4, Logan Hoot. Number 13, Samantha Hughes. Number 14, Amberly Hughes. Number 15, Kylie Woodhouse. Number 26, Bailey Reese. And your starters for today, number 2, Chesney Farnsworth. Number 5, Hallie Nilsson. Number 8, Lexi Moreland. Number 10, Cadence Crum. Number 20, Jaylee Farnsworth. Number 21, Jocelyn Farnsworth. Number 22, Grace Davis. Number 23, Lexi Young. Number 24, Kelsey Grant. Head coach, Kyle Grant. Assistant coaches, Stevie Green, Jesse Farnsworth, and Billy Hoop. Principal for Duchesne, Jason Young. Athletic Director, Don Hill. At this time, let's meet the 3A players and coaches. First, for the designated visitors, the South Summit Wildcats. Our non-starters, number 6, Mariah Bowen. Number 12, Toshlyn Louder. Number 14, Aaliyah Asti. AC. Number 15, Adriana Fitzgerald. Number 16, Madison Allen. Number 19, Brinley Stapleton. Number 20, Malia Olson. Number 21, Taya Rose. And for your starters today, number 2, Avery Snyder. Number 3, Malia Bowen. Number 4, Brooklyn Peacock. Number 5, Alyssa Sargent. Number 7, Cameron Chandler. Number 8, Ellie Reedhead. Number 10, Indy Jones. Number 11, Emma Olson. And number 22, Emma Broadbent. Head coach, Cody Bowen. Assistant, Chad Reedhead, Ashley Clegg, Jackie Roos, Lorraine Jones, and Julie Olson. Principal for South Summit, Chris Jensen. Athletic Director, Shaq Stevens. And now for the designated home team, the Manti Templars. Our non-starters today, number 3, Elsie Olson. Number 6, Maquette Hansen. Number 8, Adley Olson. Number 18, Mara Thompson. Number 19, Cheyenne Stoop. Number 24, Ashley Johnson. 26, Angelin Anderson. 25, Avery Umbro. 32, Robbie Johnson. 33, Ashley Aguedo. Number 15, Hannah Daniels. Number 20, Nakia Payne. Number 1, Markel Wilson. And number 3, Addison Stevens. And for your starters today, we have number 5, Tiffany Hermanson. Number 7, Cecily Alver. Number 10, Catherine Crouch. Number 11, Haley Daniels. Number 12, Ashley Rasmussen. Number 13, Riley Jarvis. Number 14, Haddon Taylor. Number 21, Olivia Osborne. And number 27, Madison Scotthorn. The umpires for the 2A game, Don Davis, Doug Jardine, and Bob Somenhood. And the umpires for the 3A game, Steve Olson, Mark Clausen, and Tom Patrick. Guys, congratulations on making it to the game. Let's play ball!
Good afternoon and welcome to the Spanish Fork Sports Complex. Scott Langford, Pepper Gale, and we've got 2A Championship Softball on Centricom Channel 10. And big thanks to all of the sponsors who make it possible for you to watch 2A Softball on Centricom Channel 10, including Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, San Pete Still in Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Beaver Medical Clinic, Jones DeMille Engineering, Town and Country Home Mortgage in Nephi. Appreciate those sponsors. And Pepper, as we talk about this game today, you know, the Enterprise Wolves and the Duchesne Eagle, it comes down to 1 and 2, and these two teams both worthy of those RPIs.
They have, you know, the Enterprise Wolves yet to lose to a 2A opponent, have gone through this game and I think they only allowed 2 runs the entire tournament yesterday against Duchesne, and but Duchesne looking really, really solid, just barely defeating the Millard Eagles in convincing fashion, and it's a tall task having to, upset a team twice to win the state championship trophy, but I think Duchesne's up to it. I
do too. Let's take a look at the road these two teams have taken to this championship game. First of all, Enterprise defeated South Severe 11-0, 10-0 over Beaver, 5-2 over Duchesne. So this will be the 4th game of the tournament for the Enterprise Wolves, and how nice is it to go through undefeated to the championship game, only 4.
That's the best place you can be. And, we talk about pitching a lot. The mechanics in softball are nothing like they are in baseball, but still, when you throw pitch after pitch, it gets tiring. And the two pitchers for these two teams have pitched every game, Chris Jansen and Grant. So it's nice for Enterprise not having to play those extra games.
Duchesne also pretty dominant in this tournament. They defeated North Summit 15-0, 13-4 win against Altamont, 6-0 blanking of Parowan, and then a 5-0 blanking of Millard. So for the Duchesne Eagles, this is game number, and then they lost to the Enterprise Wolves. So this is game number 6 for Duchesne. So 2 more games for the Eagles due to that loss.
It is, and I don't know though, number 1, number 2, and there's been a little bit of talk throughout the tournament as far as like RPI seedings. I think the one thing that impresses me though, as far as like if you look at on the season for these two teams, Enterprise not a loss to a 2A team, and their only losses coming from 4A schools and higher.
So Enterprise is, really, they might be the team to beat. There's 5 games for the Enterprise Wolves. I didn't count their first round, 19-0 blanking of Roland Hall. So 5 games for the Wolves, 6 games for the Eagles. So apparently I can't read. So anyway, the real question comes down to is, like you mentioned, 14-0 against 2A opponents, 2-time defending state champions. And, Enterprise really, the pressure on the Wolves to keep up that 3rd time. But they've been here. Matter of fact, in the last 5 seasons, Enterprise has placed first. Of course, we skipped 2020. First, second, down in the tournament. They lost in the one-loss bracket. And second. So 4 out of the last 5 years, Enterprise has been in this championship game.
Well, and had COVID not, took out the season, in 2020, I'm a firm believer Enterprise probably would have won that year as well. I remember pitcher Allie Lobb from Enterprise, just absolutely phenomenal. Enterprise with such a stout softball program. They're the dominant force in 2A softball. And Duchesne, coming up though and battling their way back to the championship game. I believe they have never won a championship in softball.
They have not. So this will be their first time. Enterprise has won 2 softball state championships, both, and they're the 2-time defending state champs. So those were the first 2 softball championships in Enterprise history.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's it. So that comes straight out of the USHAA. 2 2 times. 19 and 21. They've been a dominant force, but those are the 2 years that they won the championship. They've played for several times, lost to Manti, South Summit a couple times, but in essence, that's it. As we look at season streaks, the Enterprise Wolves have kind of rolled over 2A opponents, as you mentioned. Of the 3 teams remaining, Millard, Duchesne, they have a 19-game win streak against the Millard Eagles. If we go back to the top 4 teams, Beaver, they have a 28-game win streak that dates now back to 2008. And an all-time since 2000, they have a 3-0 win streak against Duchesne.
Well, maybe that's why I'm thinking Enterprise is such a dominant force, because if they've steamrolled over Beaver, for the last 15 years, Beaver can't ever beat them. And, of course, my daughter on the team that just could upset Enterprise either. So, regardless, still, I would have to say the last several years, though, Enterprise definitely, among the top 1, 2, 3 every single year for softball.
No question. And a dominant girls sports program overall. Likewise, the Duchesne Eagles have been very effective in all sports, and today we expect a great matchup between the Duchesne Eagles and the Enterprise Wolves. So we're excited to bring this to you on Centricom Channel 10 as we get ready to go. Of course, Duchesne will be the designated home team with that top RPI seeding. So Enterprise, for the first time in the tournament, except for yesterday, will be the visiting team.
Well, and we had a preview of this game of this game yesterday as they faced off in the first semifinal game, and it come down. The first 2 runs scored for Enterprise come off of an error, and it just goes to show you how crucial and how critical it is to play. Try to play as clean a game as anything, because the momentum shift can happen so quickly in softball. One error can really turn a game right upside down.
Well, and watching the 2A classification, Pepper, this whole tournament, these are the 2 cleanest playing teams. So the fewest errors. They're athletic. They range well. They cover their areas and then some. These are the 2 teams that can make plays on the defensive side of the ball.
And what I love watching for both Enterprise and Duchesne is they do not hesitate getting the ball to where it needs to be, and they don't have to worry about if their players are going to be where they need to be. We saw it in the last game with Duchesne and Millard, as Duchesne, Lexi Moreland behind the plate is just stellar, firing the ball to bases 1, 2, and 3. Her players are where they need to be. Kelsey Grant doing a great job pitching, and she's also confident if they get a hit on her, the girls behind her are going to make a play. So that's what you need to have to be one of the top 2 teams in the state.
Yep. And on the flip side, Chris Jansen with the pitching. Both of these 2 pitchers hit their spots, as you mentioned. So these are the 2 elite teams of the 2A classification have earned their way to this championship game. And Kelsey Grant, as you mentioned, the junior, will take the circle for the Duchesne Eagles as we get underway in the state championship game. On the other diamond, it's going to be the Manti Templars with the no losses, and the South Summit Wildcats. They had a 1-0 win against South Summit yesterday, so that one ought to be a very competitive, fun game as well. As we start this one, it'll be Treasure Phelps, the senior, playing left field for the Enterprise Wolves. She'll lead off at this championship
for
game.
the Enterprise Wolves, number 3, Treasure Phelps.
Treasure Phelps batting on the left side of the box. She bats .444 on the season. She's got 10 RBIs, 1 double, and 3 triples on the season coming up to this championship game.
So here we go. Championship softball Saturday on Centricom Channel 10. We're ready to go. Grant will throw to Phelps to start this one off. Everybody's set. Good crowds. Both Duchesne and Enterprise have traveled well, and the stands are full and the lawn is full, as you can see on your screen. Here's the first pitch of the game from Grant, and it's going to be hit back to the pitcher, thrown out, but there's going to be an error on the first one. You mentioned that, how costly those can be. Routine ground ball, maybe a little bit of nerves for the Duchesne Eagles.
Yeah, Phelps hit it right back to Grant. Grant just throw not there to first baseman, Lexi Young, and Phelps. Credit Phelps, though. She didn't trot toward first base. She was on her horse, and as soon as that ball passed first, she rounded it and she got to second. So leadoff batter.
Now batting
on
number
second.
12, Riley Reber.
Senior Riley Reber playing shortstop will be the second batter.
Reber batting .143 on the season with 1 RBI.
I think she has been limited a little bit in action. So here's Reber. Ball 1.
Grant, the last game against Millard, only allowed 2 hits, no walks.
There's a hit out the right side, fouled off. Strike. 1-1 the count for Reber.
And Grant, she's got a really good range of motion. She's got a lot of different pitches. She's got a rise ball, screwball. They come in all over the plate. So she's very good, and Moreland does a good job behind the plate, setting her up for her pitches.
Here's the pitch for Grant. It's going to be a bunt down the right side. And that one's first baseman made a good catch again as Grant fires that over, and that's out number 1.
With that sacrifice bunt, however, Treasure Phelps in striking distance on third base, waiting to be knocked in by her number 3 batter. That's Addie Nilsson. And
Addie Nilsson, the senior, has been phenomenal in this tournament.
Yeah, Nilsson.
Now batting number 10, Addie Nilsson.
Excuse me. Nilsson batting .387 on the season with 10 RBIs, 3 doubles, and a triple.
Yeah, in this tournament, she has been spot on. Here's the first pitch to the sophomore with Phelps in scoring position on third base. Here's a pitch from Grant. Now it's going to be hit between left and right into left field, and it's going to be bobbled, so she'll try to get to 2. There will be a play at second base, and they got her, so that was a mistake and a great job by the left fielder. That bobble that was offset by a great throw.
It was, and you could see that Nilsson, she was trying her hardest to get to second base. I think it was a great heads-up play by Duchesne to not worry about Phelps. She was going to score, and they just relayed it into second. Easy tag at the bag.
So 2 outs now. The base is cleared for the cleanup hitter, Noah Moyle, the senior.
Now batting Noah Moyle.
Beautiful pitch. Right down and catch at the outside corner, strike 1.
Strike 1 on Moyle. Moyle step back in. The 0-1 pitch. Does it catch the corner? It does not. So ball 1, strike 1.
I'm partial to catchers already just because my daughter caught for so many years, and I got to tell you, Moreland does an awesome job behind the plate, framing the pitchers, as Matt Robinson would say, a lot of glove magic. She does a very good job behind the plate.
There's a pitch. That one's going to be it looked like it was going to go, and then it kind of floated and stopped right to the shortstop. So at the top inning of play, it's going to be run on 1 hit with no one left on. It's 1-0 Enterprise as we head to the bottom of the first inning.
San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. San Pete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. San Pete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com.
Welcome back. 1-0 for the Enterprise Wolves heading into the bottom of the first inning. For the Duchesne Eagles, it will be Farnsworth, and Grant. 1-2-3 as we begin batting for the Duchesne Eagles.
And Enterprise is capitalizing on that error on the leadoff batter. Treasure Phelps able to get cross home plate and get a run. And now Duchesne, seeing what they can do. Jaylee Farnsworth, her first at-bat against Millard last game, knocked it over the left field fence. So this girl is an awesome leadoff batter.
Farnsworth will step out as the catcher and umpire have a conversation. Catching for the Enterprise Wolves will be Haley Drake, another talented catcher. All right, here we go. Bottom of the first. Pitching for the Wolves will be Chris Jansen. That's Blakely. She's a sophomore. Pitches high. Ball 1. I love the energy of high school softball. It's fantastic.
Duchesne has a lot of support from their student body. I love to see that. And
a baseball team all in uniform. Fouled off. 1-1 the count.
Christy Jansen, too, a formidable pitcher. Hasn't thrown nearly as many pitches as Grant has, but she, too, likewise can hit her spots. Pretty flawless from the mound.
The boys state tournament taking place at Kearns High School. That pitch is going to be outside and up. 2-1 the count. We've talked about both these pitchers like to use the corners as much as possible. That one's right down the middle, fouled out of play on the left side. That'll even the count, 2-2.
You can see in some of these other games with both Duchesne and Enterprise that they're watching their batters as well. If they're crowding the plate, they're throwing them inside. If they're not, they're throwing them on the outside corner. And if you got a pitcher who has that range and that discipline, I mean, it helps your program a lot.
Well, both of these pitchers able to do that. We've seen Christiansen do it all tournament long. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled off again, exactly what you said. They crowded the plate. Pitch came on the inside strike.
Yep. Near the handle of the bat. But Farnsworth doing a very good job battling with that 2-2 count.
So one foul ball. Count remains 2-2, as you mentioned. We'll keep an eye on the Manti and South Summit game as well. Pitch is going to inside corner, and a great job by Farnsworth as Jaylee keeps that alive. That's not the pitch she wants to hit necessarily unless she gets way out in front of it.
She's not, but how about her taking Christiansen deep into her pitch count? I think this is pitch 8 on batter number 1. It's either 7 or 8, and 6. So deep in her pitch count for Christiansen.
Just misses. That was a great looking pitch.
The whole crowd
not saying it was a strike. It was just right. It was close.
The whole crowd held their breath watching to see what Blue was going to say, and he didn't call a strike.
Count is full. Here comes the payoff pitch, and that one's fouled off, so the count remains 3-2.
And they're going to have to come right at each other right here. And Christiansen's just going to have to count on her teammates to make a play behind her because she can ill afford to give a walk on leadoff batter.
Something you don't see too often is Duchesne has a student section.
Oh, I know. And that's humongous.
It is. Here we go. The full count pitch is going to be strike 3 looking. So out number 1. The battle won by Blakely Christiansen.
Beautiful pitch just comes in. Low fastball and catches Farnsworth
number
looking.
21,
and now
Jocelyn
Jocelyn Farnsworth. She's number 21, batting .494 on the season with 30 RBIs, 7 doubles, and 4 triples.
So the senior center fielder for Duchesne bats from the left side. That one will not catch the corner. Very close. Ball 1.
You know, with the slap hitter on the left side, Christiansen's going to want to try to pitch inside, not let it get it on the end of her bat and go out into left field.
Second pitch fouled off, so it evens the count at 1-1. Beautiful day. This tournament started with a very stormy day that delayed the games, and the USHA and the field crews did an awesome job of keeping the tournament going. The last 2 days have been quite nice.
It was.
And today's just softball weather.
It is. It's a perfect day for a state softball game.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Outside. Ball 2. Drake tries to frame it just a little bit. Sneaks it in towards the corner, but that one outside.
Well, and you know, one thing with catchers, too, they've got to move their entire body, not just their glove, because if you can move your entire body and not just the glove, it frames it just a little bit better.
There's a hit deep into left field. That one is up, and the catch is made by the left fielder, and that is Treasure Phelps.
So 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, and that brings up Kelsey Grant, the junior slugger pitcher for Duchesne.
Now batting pitcher number 24, Kelsey Grant.
Is hitting .479 on the season with 35 RBIs. Wow.
Yeah, quite a hitter.
9 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs.
We've watched a lot of these girls in basketball as well. They're multi-sports athletes.
I feel like Kelsey's what we'll call like a 9th or 10th year senior.
She's a junior.
I know.
We talked about this during basketball. We thought Kelsey was a senior, but she was only a junior.
I mean,
so
that's
started when you were a freshman.
That's how good she is.
There's the pitch. That's a strike 1. Swing and a miss. So count 1-1.
And, you know, just number 3 in their lineup, it'd be nice for Duchesne to get Grant on base with Lexi Moreland up to bat next.
Pitch is high and outside. So now 3-1. The hitter's count coming up for Kelsey Grant. Oh, no, whoops, sorry. I looked up. That's actually 2-1. Sorry about that. I messed up the scorekeeper even. And there's a foul ball straight over our heads. Counts even at 2-2. You know, one of the rules is never trust the announcer with a count, ever.
That's a golden rule.
It's a golden rule. Well, this announcer anyway. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Looks like an inside corner. Nice protection by Grant as that's a handle shot.
And
Foul on
Drake,
the right side.
if she was paying attention to her catcher, she sat up on the outside. I don't know if she meant to throw it inside, but she set up on the outside, went inside, fouls it off, though, to stay alive.
So the count remains 2-2. There's 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Right now it's Enterprise 1. No score yet for the Duchesne Eagles. 1-2 in the RPI. That pitch, Grant knew it, too. She kind of swung And so it'll be a strikeout number 2 for Christiansen. And at the end of the top of the first, no runs, no errors, no one left on, and no hits for the Duchesne Eagles in the bottom of the first. The end of 1, it's Enterprise 1 and Duchesne 0 on Centricom, Channel 10.
Castle Valley Orthodontics specializes in state-of-the-art digital radiographs and 3D dental models. It also offers interest-free payment plans starting as low as $99 a month. Castle Valley Orthodontics will be there with you from beginning to end.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Cowley with Castle Valley Orthodontics. Born and raised here in Carbon-Emery County, been able to move back home. Looking forward to meeting everybody of Carbon-Emery County coming in to see us.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Pepper Gale. Happy to be here at the Spanish Fork Sports Complex, and it's been a great tournament. Bottom of after one complete inning of play, it's Enterprise 1-0. And Pepper, in the pregame, you talked about the fact that mistakes at this level in championship softball, even the smallest mistakes make a huge difference. And one mistake, just one error on the Duchesne Eagles, has allowed the one run that was scored. Other than that, the teams have played very even in that first inning.
It did, but also, Treasure Phelps just hit it right back to the pitcher, and she could have very easily just kind of, trotted to first base, and she did not, which also shows the importance, too, of you've got to play, especially in a state championship game, every single play is important.
Yeah.
And you have got to give it your all every single time, because that one mistake led to a one-run lead for Enterprise.
5, 6, 7 batters coming up, starting off with Brooke
now
Humphreys.
Starting out for Enterprise, number 22,
Enterprise
Brooke Humphreys.
Humphreys is batting .400 on the season with 3 RBIs, according to Max Preps. And I'm wondering with some of these stats if they're just a little bit off.
If they're a little bit off, you got to blame your coaches.
Enterprise coaches.
That's what we have. First pitch in for a strike 1.
Whoa, that was a delayed strike.
Well, I saw the posture. That's why I hesitated. I've been wrong so many times this tournament as the umpires take a minute to review what they saw, then raise the hand. 0-1 the count to Humphreys. Humphreys, the designated player. Just for those who might not understand, the designated player is basically the designated hitter. They do not play in the field, but they do play for what's called the flex player, which in this case will be Macy Hunt on first base. 1-1 the count. Pitches in, that makes the count 1-2.
Beautiful placement by Grant, just inside, going low off of her bat, pulling it to the left side.
Well, and the off speed as well. Got the bat way ahead.
And with both of these pitchers for both of these teams, they still have, sophomore for Christiansen, or maybe a junior. Sophomore.
Fouled off on the right side.
So Grant and Christiansen both back next year. So a lot of youth and a lot of talent coming back for both Duchesne and Enterprise.
Three seniors on the Duchesne side. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Enterprise. There's a deep hit straight in the middle, but it is going to be playable in center field. And so that will be out number 1. And it had some problems at the first, but it didn't quite make it.
Just hung in the air a little bit too long, lost the momentum to just go beautifully, to the center fielder for Duchesne, Jocelyn Farnsworth. And Enterprise only losing 1 senior last year from their state championship team. Now up to bat is going to be Blakely Christiansen, the pitcher, batting .292 on the season with 10 RBIs, 2 doubles, and 2 home runs.
First pitch is up and out, ball 1. Looks like 3 for Manti. Let's see, is Manti the home team?
I think so.
Yeah, Manti is the home team. Second pitch comes in.
That was a ball.
Ball 2.
Unless the strike zone just got a lot bigger.
I turned to look over my shoulder to see what the excitement was. Might have been a 3-run homer. But Manti up 3-0 on South Summit. There's the pitch, scrape the middle, hit high to right field. That could be trouble in the gap. Second field coming back. What a catch by the second fielder. An over-the-shoulder basket catch by, the second baseman, Chesney Farnsworth. Wow.
The freshman comes in and stops the ball from falling in the gap. And I was wondering if the right fielder was going to call her off, and she didn't. Beautiful catch by Farnsworth, like you mentioned, over the shoulder.
Yeah, that was a tough one. The degree of difficulty on that
Now
catch
batting
was
number
pretty
7,
high.
Haley Drake.
Haley Drake batting .300 on the season with 4 RBIs and 2 home runs.
Here's your catcher for the Enterprise Wolves. First pitch looks good. Strike one.
Every pitch, every strike is like momentous for Duchesne. I love it.
The boys baseball team leading the way. Here comes the pitch. That one looks close, and it is strike 2. So 0-2 to Haley Drake.
And I'm sure the people behind him are upset because they're all standing up as well.
Yeah, there's like one row of adults in the back, and they're all on their feet. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Enterprise Wolves. So no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on as we head to the bottom of 1. It's 1-0 Enterprise on Centricom Channel 10.
Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Scott Langford, welcome back. Scott Langford, Pepper Gale, and a big thanks to the money man, Tyler Moss, running production on this broadcast. What a great team we have, and happy to have you along. Appreciate Barrett Hilton and everyone else from Centricom as we call the state championship softball game between Enterprise and Duchesne. And so at the end of 1 inning, it was 1-0. That remained after Enterprise second time at the plate, and now Duchesne gets their second opportunity in the bottom of the second inning. And we're batting 4, 5, 6. That's Moreland, Nelson, and Crum.
The white uniforms have got me off. I'm just not used to seeing Enterprise in white. It's bizarre to me. So Moreland, excuse me.
First up
Lexi
for
Moreland,
Duchesne, number 8,
number
Lexi
8,
Moreland.
She is the catcher. She's batting .484 on the season with 40 RBIs, 13 doubles, 4 triples, and 4 home runs.
Yeah, Moreland, not even the highest batting average. That goes to Jocelyn Farnsworth. So the seniors leading away. Well, Moreland the junior herself. Moreland will step in as we start bottom of second. Enterprise and Duchesne. Pitches outside, ball 1.
And you know, both pitchers have been pretty good throughout this tournament to get batters to chase those outside pitches, because a lot of people like to hit outside pitches or high pitches. She didn't fall for it.
Well, the cat and mouse game is kind of fun. Outside, outside, then they'll throw an inside run. There's another attempt at the outside corner. Again, just misses. 2-0 the count for Moreland. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's down the middle. Strike fouled off back into the backstop. Strike 1. 2-1 the count.
Pretty pitch delivered by Christiansen, and she was a little bit behind it. Still fouls one off. Strike 1.
2-1 the count. Oh, it's 6-0 Manti on the other field. Here comes the pitch, and that one's 3-1 the count. So the batters count as the next pitch coming for Lexi Moreland. 3-1 gives the hitter 2 opportunities to be ahead as Christiansen has to try to catch a strike on these 2 pitches. That was going to be high. Ball 4. First walk of the game goes to the Duchesne Eagles. Moreland on board. I think some of that's respect for the hitter.
I think so too. You know, Moreland a solid hitter, and Christiansen, you know, doing what she can to try to keep her on her toes, but instead drawing the walk. So now Duchesne tying run on first. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nilsson sacrifice bunt to try to get her around. Nilsson batting .386 on the season, 36 RBIs, 12 total hits.
Same spot, high and outside for Christiansen. First base runner of the game for Duchesne. It was 3 up, 3 down the first inning. Now the leadoff batter ahead in this inning.
And you can see, though, as Moreland, she's respecting Hallie Drake. Drake can throw from her knees, and she's like, I dare you, try it. She's not getting too big of a leadoff off the first.
There's the pitch, and swings out of play on the right side. That'll move the count to 1-2. Also, big thanks to Jordan Hilton, who's running the camera. Yeah, she's been here all tournament long. She's got sore feet, and but she's doing okay.
And she's much better looking than her dad.
That is true. That's true. We were wondering how. Anyway, how did this happen? There's a pit, and straight popped up. That one might be in play, and barely catches the edge of that. The lip of the backstop goes out of play. Count remains 1-2.
Not in all fairness to Barrett Hilton, he's seriously a rock star. What Barrett Hilton does for Centracom and his daughters, Jordan and Claire, this weekend is, if for any of you who know them, tell them thank you. They've done awesome.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, strike 3. And they will catch a runner out, so basically they double it up as they tried to test Drake, as you mentioned, and that was a mistake as out number 2.
And you can see I was watching Drake. As soon as that pitch came in, there was zero hesitation. She fired it down to second base. The shortstop for Enterprise, that is Riley Reber, comes across, easy tag. So unfortunate for Duchesne, great for Enterprise.
Crum up for the Duchesne Eagles, strike 1.
Crum batting .382 on the season with 31 RBIs, 7 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 home run.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. 0-1 pitch. Hits that one too. 0-2. Pitchers count. What we've seen in this game, both teams have tried to test the arms of the players. In the first inning, it was Addie Nilsson trying to get across. And in this one, it was the other. Here comes, hit the third base. That's going to be the first error for the Enterprise Wolves. A tough shot and a tough hit for Moyle.
Crum, just a nice hard hit right at Moyle. Moyle was there, did a good job knocking it down, just unable to, corral it up and get it over to first. But hey, that's how Treasure Phelps got on first, was on an error. And if Duchesne can get it going, maybe they can tie it up.
23, Lexi Young.
Lexi Young is senior first baseman for Duchesne, up to the plate.
Young batting .303 on the season with 16 RBIs, 4 doubles and 2 triples.
There's a pop up, and it's going to be out at first base, and that'll retire the side. So that's going to be a 1-3 out for number 3. So for the Duchesne Eagles, no runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on. And so at the end of 2 innings of play, it is still 1-0 Enterprise when we come back on Centracom Channel 10.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm Price Ford has your next truck at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The time to buy is now. Auto Farm has a huge selection. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned Ford F-Series, including the unbeatable F-150, no one has more than Auto Farm. Find more great offers and all their inventory online at PriceFordSales.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, we make it happen for you.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Pepper Gale, as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. As the Enterprise Wolves and the Duchesne Eagles, it's Enterprise 1, Duchesne 0. This is all that we hoped it would be. It was a tough battle. Both teams have had 1 error, and also both teams actually still not a hit yet for the Duchesne Eagles, and only 1 hit for the Enterprise Wolves.
Well, and one thing, too, that I, super impressed with Enterprise on that last defensive series is, I talked about, not if we were on the air or not, but these players, they know where they need to be. And so when other players like Drake needs to throw the ball, no hesitation. She fires at the second. Her shortstop's coming across. And the discipline of both of these teams defensively is just phenomenal.
As we start the top of the 2nd inning, of course, Enterprise, the visiting team, it'll be batters 8-9-1. We'll start off with the senior, Maddie Grobe.
First for Enterprise, number 15, Madeline Grob.
Is it Grobe or Grob?
Grob.
Grob? I'm not sure.
She just said Grob.
Grob. Okay, so
I've been saying Grobe, so I apologize if that's wrong.
Grobe or Grob? We're gonna call it Grob, but
okay.
So Grob batting .333 on the season with 3 RBIs. And if anybody's listening and wants to text us and tell us differently, let us know.
So Maddie steps up, and she plays center field for the Enterprise Wolves. Here we go. Top of 3, starting away with a swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Matt Robinson, has a lot of pitching knowledge, and he talked about the statistics of that first pitch. The pitcher goes up 80% if they can get a first strike.
80% chance of
80%
strikeout,
chance,
right?
Yep.
Ball 1. Well, we had this debate earlier. We talked about the fact is, if the pitcher's trying to get ahead, is that the pitch you swing at? Or do you let it go and make the pitcher earn it? And I mean, that's kind of the debate that rages at every level.
Well, and according to the chairman of the board, he says you take it. That's a pipe ski.
A pipe ski?
A pipe ski.
All right. Shout out to Matt. We appreciate him calling games this weekend. He's a lot of fun. And he's smarter than he looks, too.
He's super smart.
Yeah. Does that catch the corner? It does. Strike 2. 2-2 the count. Everybody kind of waited and held their breath for a minute, and then the call came.
The umpire holds a lot of power and emotional influence behind the plate.
I think they do it for that, the dramatic effect. Here's the 2-2 count. It's in, and that one's a dirt ball, so the count moves to full. Not a bad pitch by Grant. I think that's a good try.
Try to get her to chase it, and get a little bit off balance, take kind of a lackadaisical swing. You never know where that ball's going to go.
Okay, the full count coming for Maddie Grobe. 1-0 Enterprise. We're in the top of the third. Fouled off. Count stays full.
And Grob continues to battle, and none of these girls not wanting to get caught looking on a full count.
That's 2 foul balls now. Count stays full. Still no outs. We're in the top of the third. Enterprise up. Pitch comes in. Hit left side. Handle hit for Maddie. And it'll be out of bounds.
It's out of bounds.
Foul ball.
Out of play.
No, it was kind of in play.
No. It went over the fence.
Okay. Here we go. It's a good thing nobody can see this game. All those on the radio, though, they won't know any difference. There's another foul ball. That is foul ball number 3 after the full count. So Grove continues to battle away up to the plate. I'm going to send somebody down to get I'm going to send Tavy Gale. Oh, for sure? Rob? Okay, we got it. Thank you. Another foul ball. That's number 4 after the 3-2. So that's 9 pitches now in this at-bat.
Super deep in her pitch count, and you can see that Grant, she can't get too far off that strike zone, but doesn't want to give her just, a meatball down the middle. So
and she's not. She's keeping those corners alive. And there it is, that little bit of a high ball, and that was strike 3.
Grant just doesn't get too nervous, doesn't panic, just keeps firing them in there. 9 pitches into her pitch count, gets a strikeout.
Now batting for Enterprise, number 2, Rebecca Hess.
Wins that battle, and now the 9 batter and playing right field is Rebecca, we call her Becca Hess.
Hess batting .364 on the season with 3 RBIs for the Enterprise Lady Wolves.
She'll step up on the left side. Here comes the pitch from Grant. That one's going to be fouled off. Strike 1.
I couldn't tell if she was slapping on that one or not. Maybe she's just so quick she got out of the box quick, but
no, she was doing the slap and ready to go. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Grant. Pitch, strike 2. So 0-2 the count now on Hess.
Now you're going to see an off-speed inside pitch, I bet right here from Grant up.
Well,
2 strikes, no balls.
Pitcher's count. She gets to do about what she wants. She has some room to play.
And she's the slap hitter crowd in the inside of the plate. Place it inside.
And she throws it out and up. Another foul ball.
I was wrong.
Count remains 0-2. Well, that's the fun part. We never know.
It's fun to think I know.
Maybe they could do like a microphone. We could put it out there and say, this is what you should do. Of course, a lot of parents would want that too. and one for the umpire. And that will be strike 3 as a swing and a miss.
I'm not sure anybody from Duchesne or Beaver Enterprise would want a microphone from somebody from Beaver in their ears at this point.
So here we go, back to top of the lineup. Treasure Phelps back up. Last time she got on an error, and she is the lone scorer for
back
the
to the
game.
top of the lineup for Enterprise. Now batting number 3, Treasure Phelps.
Phelps got on an error her first at bat, and the lone run for Enterprise.
There's a hit deep to center field, and it's going to be playable and caught by the center fielder for out number 3.
Phelps takes that first pitch again. Nice hit, but just easy playable ball for Duchesne.
For the Enterprise Wolves in the top of the 3rd inning. No hits, no runs, no errors, no one left on. It's 1-0 Enterprise when we come back for the bottom of the 3rd on Centricom Channel 10.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Scott Langford Peppergale here on the 2A state championship matchup between the Enterprise Wolves and the Duchesne Eagles. In the bottom of the 3rd, down 1-0. Duchesne will bat 9-1-2, which is
first for
Farnsworth,
Duchesne, number 22,
Farnsworth.
Grace Davis.
Freshman, sophomore, senior. Definitely probably at least some relation there if they're not sisters. But Chesney Farnsworth for Duchesne, the freshman, batting .288 with 19 RBIs, 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run.
Pitch is outside, ball 1. No, this is Davis. Did I say Farnsworth? It's Davis.
Oh, was it Davis?
Yeah, Davis.
Oh, geez, sorry about that, Davis. Grace.
Yep, Grace Davis.
Grace batting .200 on the season.
That pitch looks good. Strike called. 1-1.
So again, Davis .200 on the season, 10 RBIs, 4 doubles, and a home run.
The 8th batter. Grace plays right field for Duchesne. Hit high in the air on the left side. It's playable for the left fielder, and that one will be caught.
Phelps had a ton of time to get underneath it in left field for the easy out. Coming off here, the bottom of the 3rd.
F9 for the first out.
Now batting number 2, Chesney Farnsworth.
The second baseman for Duchesne. Her first at bat of the game.
Now back to Farnsworth, .288 on the season, 19 RBIs, 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run.
Strike 1 for Farnsworth. There's the 0-1 pitch from Christiansen. That one looks good up the line, but goes foul. 0-2 the count. Now Christiansen can do about what she wants for a few pitches.
Yes, she can, and Farnsworth is going to have to protect. She's going to have to get the bat going on anything that's about, even close to the strike zone.
Mm-hmm. Farnsworth hits it deep into left field. That is a shot. It's going to go over the head of the player. Now it'll go. Boy, that almost went through the fence. It's a stand-up double for Chesney Farnsworth.
Wow, I actually thought that had the range and was going over, and I was about to do a cheer. I love it when freshmen hit home runs. And Chesney Farnsworth, number 9 batter, comes in. Nice stand-up double for the Eagles.
So the only second base runner of the game for the Eagles. And she's in scoring position with the top of the lineup coming up. Jaylee Farnsworth, the sophomore, playing shortstop.
Back to the top of the lineup for Duchesne. Now batting number 20,
if you're Duchesne, you're
Farnsworth.
happy right now. The top of your order, runner in, threatening to score. They could tie it up here in the bottom of the 3rd.
First pitch comes in high, ball 1. Farnsworth 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Pitch is going to be low in the dirt, ball 2. Now the pressure on the pitcher with a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch from Christiansen. That one's going to be high, ball 3. 3-0.
A little bit of a hesitation. Yeah. Farnsworth almost took a cut at it, chose not to.
She had that upper body flinch, didn't she?
She did.
So Christiansen now in a spot. Will have to protect. Here's the pitch, and that one will catch the inside corner, I believe. Strike 1.
Yeah, Christiansen knew she just had to throw it in there.
Well, she didn't throw a meatball, though.
Nope.
She threw that inside corner.
Inside pitches, they can be hard to hit.
Christiansen, 3-1 to count. Here's the pitch, and looks good. Full count.
And there goes the swing. 3-0 to full in a matter of a few seconds.
So now the payoff pitch for Farnsworth. Sophomore steps in. Big stakes on the line with runner in scoring position at second, and fouled off on the left side. Pitch number 6 for this at bat for Christiansen.
In a high pressure situation, it's only 1 out still, but you've got Farnsworth on second base. It'd be nice, you know, for Duchesne to get a hit and get on base here.
Farnsworth steps in. And she's going to protect fouling that off. That might have been a little bit high, but did a good job of fending off.
I think it was a smart move for Farnsworth. It's not worth it to let one go by.
Her last at bat, she got caught looking with this full count. Same kind of thing happened. It was her, I think, her 9th pitch, and she got caught on a corner, and she said, "Not this time." And there's another one. That's pitch number 7 from this at bat for Christiansen and Farnsworth.
And she keeps pulling them hard to the left, going foul.
She pulls the trigger quickly when she swings. Full count. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. Got it. Strike. Strike out for out number 2.
Christiansen wins the battle on that one. Farnsworth made her go deep into her pitch count both times at bat, and this brings up now Jocelyn Farnsworth.
Well, you think about that. You talked about
now batting number 21, Jocelyn Farnsworth.
First strike, what the odds are when you have a 3-0, the odds go way back the other side. But that one, Christiansen able to defy the odds. Here's first pitch, comes in for a strike.
Farnsworth didn't take a cut at it, but goes 0-1 on the first pitch.
2 outs now. Here's the pitch, and might have caught the corner again. Did, so 2-0. 0-2 rather. The count, 2 strikes, no balls for the batter, Jocelyn Farnsworth. She flew out to left field in her last at bat. There's the pitch, and on the outside, got it. As the umpire said, that caught the corner. Strikeout, and out number 3 for Farnsworth. And that'll do it.
She doesn't like that call either. She's talking to the umpire behind the plate, and that's unfortunate for Duchesne as they leave Farnsworth on second. Tying run left on.
So for the Duchesne Eagles, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. Going into the top of the 4th inning, it's Enterprise 1 and Duchesne 0 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and Centricom Channel 10.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Pepper Gale, Tyler Moss, and Jordan Hilton on your broadcast this afternoon. It's the 2A State Championship game as we go into the top of the 4th, 1-0. Enterprise with the 1-run lead. And they'll lead off with batters 2, 3, and 4. That's Reber, Nelson, and Moyle. So Enterprise right at the top of their order. And if the game continues like this might be their last chance at bats if it continues.
It does. This game has gone by very, very quickly, and that 1 run for Enterprise scored on an error. I mean, so really no earned runs yet for either team. And for Enterprise, though, as the designated visiting team, there's always hope for the home team. So number 12, Riley Reber. Have to see what she can do for Enterprise.
Here's the shortstop for the Wolves. She'll step in and start us off.
First up for Enterprise, number 12, inning. Riley Reber.
Kelsey Grant continues in the circle for Duchesne. She's been masterful. Both pitchers have been fantastic. And here's Reber. Reber hit to the pitcher last time up, and that one got away from Kelsey Grant. That's ball 1.
Yeah, no worries there. No runners on. Doesn't have to worry about anybody advancing. But that's the first wild pitch I've seen from Grant the entire tournament.
Yeah, about 6 feet behind the batter. That one just got away. Reber steps back in. There's the 1-0 count. That one down the middle, hit up, and a pop fly. Shortstop ranges back for the out.
Jaylee Farnsworth doing a good job getting under it to grab it out of the air and not let it drop in the gap. So 1 out, 2 Enterprise.
Got to bring up super sophomore Addie Nelson, the second baseman. Nelson.
Now batting number 10, Addie Nelson.
She hit a single, but then tried to stretch that out and was put out at second base. So she does have a hit for the Enterprise Wolves. Matter of fact, that is the only hit of the game was for Nelson. That ball will be inside. Ball 1. Nelson also, as I mentioned, just a sophomore. Pitch might have caught the corner, did so. 1-1 the count.
There's going to be no doubt for anybody who wants to know if it's a strike.
Well, you just have to wait for the cheer.
Wait for the student body. If it's a strike, they're going to cheer.
That's right. There's the pitch down the middle, over the pitcher.
Whoa!
Big play by the... How about the shortstop on that one?
Wow, nice job from Jaylee Farnsworth. As that took a hard bounce over the pitcher. She just cleanly fields it, fires it over to 1. Nice job by Farnsworth.
Yeah, fielded it right at second base. That's a lot of ground to
Next
cover.
up, number 8, Noah Moyle.
And now 2 outs. Here comes Noah Moyle, the cleanup hitter for the Enterprise Wolves, playing third base. There's the first pitch to Moyle. Swing and fouled off. Strike 1.
Off-speed pitch, and Moyle waited, I think, 1 second too long to take a hack at it.
Yeah, it was kind of an afterthought. You waited and waited, and then she swung. So 0-1 the count. Pitch is going to be outside. Ball. Count even at 1. Double play on the backside. Boy, Manti all over South Summit. 9-0. That one might be over pretty quickly.
In the second inning.
Strike 2. 1-2 the count. It's interesting because in the 2A classification, it was number 1 and number 2. And in the 3A classification, I believe it's number... I can tell you. I'm going to tell you in just a minute. There's a pitch, swing and strikeout for Moyle. That's a strikeout for the third out. So 3 up and 3 down, and that's right in the meat of the lineup. So 2, 3, and 4 go down with 1 strikeout. So going into for the Enterprise Wolves, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And we head to the bottom of the 4 with Enterprise leading 1-0.
Town & Country Home Mortgage has been simplifying the home buying process for 18 years. We offer VA, FHA, USDA, conventional, and construction loans. Come see us or apply online at NephiMortgage.com. That's NephiMortgage.com. We are committed to our community and enjoy serving our friends and family. Talk to one of our expert loan officers, Abby Ivory, Liz Brotherson, Chantel Bennett, or Joe Nielsen. Town & Country Home Mortgage, proud supporters of high school athletics.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Pepper Gale, Tyler Moss, Jordan Hilton, and we appreciate all those who make these broadcasts possible. We're heading to the bottom of the 4th inning. Duchesne down by 1 run. It's 1-0, and batting for Duchesne will be the 3, 4, 5 batters, Grant, Moreland, and Nelson. We just watched as Enterprise went through 2, 3, 4, unable to get a hit. We'll see if Duchesne can do a little better as they hit the meat of their lineup.
Number 24, Kelsey
She had
Grant.
a strikeout, her first at bat. And she's definitely going to want to try to get something going here for her team. Down 1 run in the bottom of the 4th, still time, but yet it'd be nice for Duchesne if they could tie it up here.
Well, it's been a pitcher's duel. There's only been 1 hit for each team, so it's been exceptional pitching. Pitch is outside, ball 1.
And both pitchers, you've mentioned it already, they're loving that outside corner. The majority of the pitches are going outside for both Duchesne and Enterprise.
So stepping back in is Grant. So it's the pitcher's duel. Grant at the plate with Christiansen in the circle. Here's the pitch, and an off-speed pitch falls in for ball 2. ball one rather. 1-1 the count.
Mousy pitches are
That
great.
is ball two.
Except when they fall before the plate, because if you can get it going, get to the catcher's glove, a lot of times you can get that off-speed pitch, and they don't really know how to take a cut at it.
Yeah, 2-0 the count. Looks like Christiansen will miss the corner, so that's 3 balls now for Kelsey Grant. So she's got 2 payoff pitches coming.
Does she hold or does she go? Because Christiansen's going to give her one right here.
Wow. That was the pitch. 3-1.
I told you.
That's what we affectionately call the meatball. I don't know what you do.
But do you hold on that?
I don't
3
know.
balls? Wow.
I mean, I think sometimes it depends on lots of factors. But here's the 3-1 pitch. That one hit, towering foul ball out around the left side. Very high hit, so now the count is full. We've seen this with both pitchers getting down in the count 3-0, battling back. And even at 3-0, not giving really great pitches. Although Christiansen did give one great pitch that time.
She did, and that's still only 1 walk of the game.
Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it will be ball 4.
So she draws walk number 2, and as aggressive as Kelsey Grant runs the bases, I would expect to see Moreland square to bunt, try to get her around on this first pitch.
Yep, leadoff batter on the base path.
Now batting number 8, Lexi Moreland.
Moreland, the junior catcher for Duchesne. She steps in and takes strike 1.
And again, I am proven wrong. She does not square to bunt at all.
I think with Lexi Moreland, you want her to hit. That would be my opinion. There's a hit, and that's going to be deep left field. That's up there, and it is going to hit the fence as Grant comes around second base, goes around third. She's going to go home, and they just blew. They didn't watch what was going on. A little bit of confusion, and we're all tied up at 1 with Kelsey Grant coming all the way from first base, and a little bit of lack of awareness there for the Enterprise Wolves.
It was, and even for Grant as well. She actually stopped midway through the base path, thinking that they were going to fire it to home. And 1 run now for Grant. Nice hit though by Moreland. Hits the fence, and now she's stand-up double on second.
So we'll give her a double as Grant slid onto the bat when she slid into home. So hopefully Grant's okay. We'll see to make sure. But it is tied now, 1-1. And also with no outs, another runner in scoring position, and the Enterprise infield will meet. A very uncharacteristic mistake by the Enterprise Wolves on that one.
I'm telling you, this is where teams need to coordinate better and have different uniforms, because she's shrieking around the bases, but honestly, that was really surprising to me that ball was not relayed into home and instead went to second.
Yeah, I really thought that Reber was just going to gun it home because they had plenty of time. Matter of fact, the batter stopped. Grant stopped halfway.
Yeah, she stopped halfway between the...
Because she knew that she was in trouble, but they weren't exactly sure. And then the relay coming to third was a little bit odd.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. It will be the batter, Nelson, the senior left fielder. She's 0 for 1 on the afternoon. She
now batting number 5, Hallie
That's
Nilsson.
Lexi Moreland, as we've mentioned. We're all tied at 1. Still in the bottom of the 4th, no outs. There's the bat, and it's going to be a foul ball. That one just kept bouncing, but did stay foul. Strike 1. All that for a strike. So Nelson, the senior, steps back in with the 0-1 count. Again, Moreland scoring position on second. There's a pitch down, and it's going to be in the hole. A base hit and an RBI for Hallie Nelson.
And here we go, bottom of the 4th inning. Duchesne takes a 1-run lead off of a pretty hit. 2 pretty hits, actually, from Moreland and then Nelson.
And you could actually see Reber shading to the left, trying to help out with that, and that pulled a little bit, and she was unable to get back to the middle of the field. Enterprise does play a little bit towards that left side.
Well, and a lot of the hits have been pulled towards the left side.
There's Cadence Crum, the sophomore. Had an error last bat. That one's deep, but playable for the center fielder who makes the grab.
And you can see Duchesne now, they've got on to Christiansen as they've got their bats going. They're getting the bat on the ball and getting some hits. And Enterprise's outfield having to do some work.
Nelson
Now
holds
batting
at
number
first base.
23,
That'll bring up
Lexi Young.
Lexi Young, the first baseman for Duchesne. She's 0 for 1. She bats from the left side. Pitches out. The bunt is down, but will stay foul. Strike one.
Duchesne playing a little bit of small ball here in the last couple batters, trying to advance those runners rounds two. Oh, still only one out, too.
Yep, still
so
one
they have
out.
got to get that base unoccupied on chance that there's a drop third strike.
Young steps in, counts 0-1. Pitch is going to be also foul, 0-2 the count.
And Moyle, she was there in just a heartbeat. She was charging that ball really quickly. Smart let it go foul.
So the middle of the field wide open for the Duchesne Eagles. 0-2 the count for Lexi Young. The senior steps back in. There's the pitch from Christiansen. Off-speed pitch is going to be in the hole. Knocked down by the second baseman. And Jay Goddard at second base. Reber and Nilsson with a great play. As a lot of booing from Duchesne. That was a close one.
Well, and that's hard for the base runner, and I think that was Crum. That looked like it. Nilsson, she had to hang up, she had to tag up on that bag, so she had a lot of distance to cover.
Yeah, she did. That was rough. Fielder's choice. Lexi Young on a fielder's choice. She'll be back on first. Now 2 outs. Duchesne leading 2-1 as they've added 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th to take the lead. It's Grace Davis. And she flew to right field last time up, fouled off. It'll be strike one.
It's never a state tournament without a little bit of controversy. And the first controversial call, I think, of the game happened here in the bottom of the 4th.
That's what makes it fun. Those of you at home probably saw a replay, and that one's going to go Reber across from first, and Reber with a strong arm with the put out. That's for the 3rd out. How about that? The Duchesne Eagles, as they come in with their 3, 4, 5 batters, and they tag on 2 runs. They take the lead in the bottom of the 4th. They had 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 runner left on. As we head to the top of the 5th inning, it's 2-1 Duchesne.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. B. Noel Robinson, Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, physician's assistants Reagan Fales, Travis Hicks, and Kenneth Hussey, and nurse practitioners Robin Horton, Lindsay Cheney, Rebecca Rasmussen, and Wade Hollingshead. The Beaver Medical Clinic offers affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
Welcome back. Fun game here at the Softball Sports Complex as Duchesne comes charging back in the bottom of the 4th to score 2 runs and take the lead. The lead that Enterprise has had since the first inning of play. But the bigger story, Kelsey Grant shutting down the bats of the Enterprise Wolves. She's done a great job, the junior, for Duchesne.
She has, and this is exactly state championship games. This is exactly what you want to see. In softball, a lead change here in the middle of the game. 2A defending state champions. This is a good one.
For the Wolves in the the top of the 5th inning, it will be 5, 6, 7 Humphreys, Christiansen, and Drake. Last time up, Humphreys flew out to the center fielder.
First for Enterprise, number 22, Brooke Humphreys.
Humphreys steps in, as does Grant. Grant will take the pitch call from her coach and step into the circle. Pitch is in for strike one.
Moreland again does a great job behind the plate framing the ball, and what's fun for Duchesne is you got this pitching catching combo coming back next year.
Both combos come back. Here's a hit to right center, and the leadoff batter aboard as she hits a leadoff single, and Enterprise in with a runner in play.
Nice hit. This is nothing about the best place you can hit the ball, and nobody can get to it. Drops, And she gets on first.
That'll bring up the pitcher, Blakely Christiansen, a sophomore for the Wolves. We'll talk to her coach first. It looks like they'll do a running change. I'm guessing for Humphreys.
I think we're off. No, we're not. No, that's Brooke Humphreys on first.
Yeah, Blakely Christiansen.
That is.
But I think they're going to do a running change.
Number 13 for Enterprise is going to come in.
And that's Kyla Humphreys. So
sisters.
Humphreys will run.
Humphreys for Humphreys.
We think so. But they're taking their time talking about it. Maybe they're confused about the numbers. Well, we take this chance to say big thanks to all of our sponsors who sponsor 2A softball on Centricom Channel 10, Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, St. Pete Still and Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Beaver Medical Clinic, Jones & Mill Engineering, Town and Country Home Mortgage in Nephi. So tell us what happened.
There was a pinch runner that came in.
All right, and now it's Blakely Christiansen with a chance to help herself out. Last time she flew to the second baseman, and so she's 0-1 on the afternoon. Can Enterprise respond in kind to Duchesne's run in the bottom of the fourth here in the top of the fifth?
Well, with a program as stacked and stout as Enterprise, they're not going to let that rattle them too much.
Nope, they've been here before, as we've talked about. Here's Christiansen. She'll step up to the plate. And there's going to be a bunt, and it's going to be to the pitcher. It'll advance the runner, and, big trouble. And Enterprise Wolves make a huge mistake as the runner turns around second base, gets thrown out by the first baseman.
Wow, so that's the second time this game. Both teams now have picked off a runner on second base. And again, I talked about this earlier. This is what is so great about these two teams. They know where to be, and they have full confidence in their teammates. They're going to be there.
That'll bring up Haley Drake. And you could see as Humphreys turned that corner, you could see that the momentum, the time it took her to stop the momentum and come back, the throw was just drilled down and the tag made.
Wow, great defensive play there by Duchesne.
So quickly 2 outs. Here comes the pitch from Grant. The batter, Haley Drake, the junior catcher for Enterprise. Ball one. There's a 1-0 count inside, fouled off on the left side. That'll be count 1-1. With some really great defensive play. You don't want to take too many steps. Everybody seems to have a cannon for an arm.
And no hesitation either.
None. First pitch from Grant. That one's going to be hit up the left field line. That's another base hit. And Haley Drake gets on first base.
Nice hard hit just up the third base line, out of reach of the third baseman. So nice base hit for Haley Drake.
Without the overrun on second base, this game might be tied.
I think you're right.
Next up, number 15, Madeline Graf.
She plays center field for Enterprise. Last time was a strikeout for Madeline. Maddie steps in this time. Shot in the middle, going to be hit to the shortstop. It's going to go off the shortstop. So there's runners on first and second. So both teams with a little bit of lapse of concentration. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. A 2-out rally for the Enterprise Wolves brings up Hess, the junior right fielder for Enterprise.
Well, it's amazing how fast the brain works, because I guarantee you with Farnsworth, she's thinking, I just got to get this either first or second. Body moves too fast before the play is there.
Batting number 2,
what should have been an easy fielding catch and out. Another error and another runner on base for Enterprise.
So Duchesne will shift their infield. Their shortstop almost all the way over where the third baseman is to cover third base. So the middle of the field wide open for the Enterprise Wolves.
And you got third baseman pulled clear up front. They're anticipating a bunt, I would imagine.
So the Enterprise coach will, I don't know if they were considering a change, but he talked to, Hess will drop that left side, and She'll step up to the plate. And there will be a timeout by the Duchesne coaching staff. We'll take a short break while they have a conference. Be back for more exciting softball action on Centricom Channel 10.
JN Auto loves our customers and our community, so we have sanitized our entire inventory. Mold, germs, and yes, coronavirus are eradicated. Our all-natural treatment is safe for you, your pets, and anyone you take along in your new ride. After 6 months, stop by and we can get you rolling germ-free again. Treatments are offered in a single application or a 1, 3, or 5-year contract. Stop by your local JN Auto location to learn more about our sanitizing options.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's two 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Welcome back. After all the talks, it's still Hess, the batter, up 2-1. Runners on first and second for Enterprise. Grant will approach. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Pitch, and Hess will hit a shot, and it's going to be caught by the shortstop. That's why she was there. A base hit robbed by the shortstop, and that'll do it as Duchesne gets out of a jam, as it was an F6 for the third out of the game, of the inning rather.
And Farnsworth redeems herself on that error, the last hit. She sucked in sucked in close and was able to snag that one out of the air to get him out of the inning.
So we're going to keep it here, but in the top of the 5th inning, Enterprise scores no run on 2 hits with 1 error and 2 runners left on. And how big was the base running mistake for the Enterprise Wolves in the top of the 5th inning?
Wow. Well, and again, for the base runner, just to get her off the hook just a little bit, she really didn't come off the base all too far, maybe 3-4 feet, but like you talked about, the momentum and as fast as they were able to throw the ball down to the different bases, she just didn't have enough to get back to the second base.
I think you're right, and with most teams, I don't think that's too dangerous.
No, and you're taught to round the bases
she's done
and
it
look.
all season long.
Probably so.
Just a little bit of aggressive base running, but against the Duchesne Eagles, you can't get away with it. With either team. I mean,
no.
Duchesne both have had that same thing happen.
I've been super impressed with both of these teams and the way they play defensively. They just know where to be and they can trust each other, which is huge. You don't have to worry about if somebody's going to be there. You fire it there and trust that your teammates are going to back you up.
So now for the Duchesne Eagles, it's going to be 9-1-2. Farnsworth will start off. The second baseman for Duchesne.
Farnsworth had an awesome hit her last at bat.
First up, number 2, Duchesne Farnsworth.
Pitch is outside, ball 1. Again, if Duchesne able to hold this lead and defeat Enterprise, it will go to a deciding game 2, as Enterprise is yet to be defeated. Swing and a miss, strike 1-1. On the other field, it is now 10-0 in the 4th inning. Manti all over South Summit.
Ouch.
Pitch might have caught the corner. It does. So 1-2 the count. It's a lot of anxiety on both sides of the field. A lot of anticipation. This pitch is going to be hit up, and it looks like it's going to be in the hole, and it is. And that's another base hit for Chesney Farnsworth as she hits hit number 2 into shallow left field.
I got to give it to the freshman here. I don't know if she knew the changeup pitch was coming, but she waited on it and she hit it just perfectly. And so the freshman batting in the number 9 hole coming up huge
number 20,
for her team this game.
So the leadoff batter on board. Has to be fouled off, strike 1. The batter is Jaylee Farnsworth. Farnsworth 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Sophomore playing shortstop for Duchesne. Enterprise Wolves trying to do a 3 consecutive state championships, a three-peat. There's a foul ball on the left side. 0-2 the count to Jaylee Farnsworth.
And Enterprise lucky that one went foul, as that would have been an easy base hit, advancing Farnsworth. But now Farnsworth in it. She's been in this predicament. I feel like this entire game she's had to protect every at bat. She's never got ahead of Christiansen yet.
Well,
she did.
She has battled back each time. That pitch comes in and strike.
Ooh.
So strike 3. Beautiful pitch by Christiansen as she gets hit out number 1.
And then now Jocelyn Farnsworth coming up. She got caught looking her last at bat.
Yep.
1 out, 1 on for Duchesne.
Now batting number 21, Jocelyn Farnsworth.
There's the pitch from Christiansen. Pitch is in, shows bunt.
I
There's
can't
a
believe
pretty good lead. pretty good lead on first. Drake considered it.
She did. I'm surprised she didn't fire it down.
1 ball for Farnsworth. Now it's evened up as she fouls that one back into the backstop. 1-1. I'm not sure any of the girls would take too many steps off the base.
It would not be wise.
Not safe. There's the 1-1 pitch, and that one bunt fouled. Slap hit, rather, so 1-2 the count. Now protection. Pitcher's count for Christiansen. One-two pitch, outside, ball 2.
She's going to get caught.
Boy, and we've seen it all afternoon long, and there's another base runner goes down as the catcher just, she took that big lead, and she was hosed and knew it.
And Haley Drake, you could watch her. She baited her into that. She had her right there. She took a step out, and she's like, try me. Nice throwdown by Haley Drake. And
2 great teams.
Wow. She was just, Farnsworth was too far off first base.
Farnsworth now with a full count. 3-2. 2 down. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1. Duchesne with the lead. There's a hit, and that's going to be trouble. But there is Phelps. She'll make the grab. It was not as much trouble as I thought. So an F7 to end the inning. So the Duchesne Eagles have no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and no runners left on. So as we go into the top of the 6th, it's 2 for the Eagles, 1 for Enterprise. We'll be back on Centricom Channel 10.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care. Closer to home.
Welcome back. Scott Langford, Pepper Gale, and the pointing money man, Tyler Moss, with Jordan Hilton on the camera. He's saying, come on, dude. Pay attention.
Somebody needs to keep you on task.
Somebody does. I don't know who's capable, but you can try. So here we go. Top of 6. Only 2 more innings left. This game has been just a memory in the making, as it's 2 awesome teams, the Duchesne Eagles and the Enterprise Wolves. Right now, it is 2 for the Duchesne Eagles and 1 run for the Enterprise Wolves. Enterprise will start with top of their order with Phelps, Reber, and Nelson. Phelps in the game, 0 for 2.
Start back at the top of the lineup with Enterprise batting number 3.
It can be really hard for teams because in that when you lose to a team in a semi-champion or a semi-final game, like it could be easy to doubt yourself or feel like you're the underdog. Duchesne has not played like that at all this game. They have come out, they have a championship on their mind, and it has shown.
Well, they've played like the number 1 seed in the RPI. I can tell you that much. They've played great. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, Phelps at the plate. Pitch is out, and ball one. It was close.
Much to the dismay of the Duchesne student body.
I think they think every pitch is a strike.
Oh, for sure.
So there we go. Phelps steps back in. 1-0 the count. Enterprise down 1. Pitch again on the outside corner. This one nails it for a strike.
Looked like the same pitch, but we don't have the best vantage point from up here. So
hey, sometimes it's a game of an inch, and that had to have been that one. Those were very close. I paused on the first one because the first one was close. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Phelps. That one's definitely down and out. Ball 2, 2-1.
I love both the supporters for both of these teams are just so just happy for both of their teams. It's awesome to see.
There it is, hit to the right side. Second baseman up. Phelps made a good attempt at it, but it's going to be out number 1.
Phelps doing all she could to get to the bag. Nice hustle on her part, but great play by the second baseman for Duchesne. That's Chesney Farnsworth, the freshman, getting it over to first base for out number 1.
There's the talented shortstop, Riley Reber. She's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. We'll have another chance.
Glad to see Reber playing after a pretty serious knee injury last year. So glad to see her back out on the field.
Here's the first pitch to Reber. Reber drives that one foul on the left side. Strike 1. Still one of my favorite interviews was with Reber, and I think it was Shirtliff, both with injuries.
Sophie Shirtliff.
With Sophie, and we did a live interview with those two. Got a little choked up. They were talking about just how much fun they had as high school players last year.
And Sophie, as a senior, having to go out with an injury.
Yeah. Here's a pitch to Reber. That one's going to be hit into trouble area. Center field tries to make the grab. Can't do it. That was a game effort, and Reber slides in and will be safe for the stand-up. She has to have a double on it because she goes in and she beat the run. So Riley Reber with a double to open up the top of the 6th inning.
Well, what about the heads-up play from Reber? As she sees second base is completely unoccupied, and she did not slow down at all. She rounded first, went just as hard as she could toward second. Great effort for Duchesne, but Reber makes him pay, and now the tying run on second.
Well, Farnsworth made a great attempt out in the field, and she went out as far as she could. To her credit, she got it in the glove, but that collision with the ground, no chance of making that. Had she made it, it would have been one of those poster-type grabs. Here's a hit on the right side. Second baseman holds Reber and back. That's textbook for the second baseman, Chesney Farnsworth.
Great job just looking her back, saying, nope, you're not going to go on me. And now 2 outs. Still Noah Moyle, cleanup batter for Enterprise. This is an important bat for Enterprise.
Number 8, Noah Moyle.
So Reber in scoring position, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 6th. Duchesne with the lead. Base hit could score Reber. Moyle, pitch outside, ball 1.
And you know Grant's going to try to not give her anything too easy to hit because Moyle, she's a formidable force. And nice hit could tie it up.
1-0 pitch to Moyle. That one could have caught the corner and does so. 1-1. Umpire's been very consistent with those corner calls.
Watching his body language, too. I knew that one was a strike just to the way his posture was.
Yep. 1-1 the count. Here comes the pitch from Grant. There's a hit on the left side to the third baseman. Across the field for the out. And the Enterprise Wolves unable to score after the double by Riley Reber. So 5-3-1 for the out. So the Enterprise Wolves, no runs, 1 hit. No errors, and 1 runner left on as we head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 2 for the Duchesne Eagles, 1 for the Enterprise Wolves.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Welcome back to 2A championship game. Right now it's the Duchesne Eagles 2-1. The Enterprise Wolves will have one more chance to catch up, but the Duchesne Eagles have 2 at-bats to win this one.
Where are we at in the inning here? Top of 6?
Bottom of 6.
Bottom of 6, geez.
Bottom of 6. On the other field in the 3A championship, a little bit unexpected, but the Manti Templars all over South Summit 12-0. Looks like the Templars heading towards the championship there as they are undefeated and no second game required. For the Duchesne Eagles, it'll be batters
3, 4, and 5.
3, 4, 5. Grant, Moreland, and Nelson. So the heavy hitters in the lineup for the Duchesne Eagles.
Batting first for
And if you're
Duchesne,
Duchesne, you're happy right in the meat of your lineup here with a shot to maybe extend that lead a little bit.
Grant 0 for 1 with a walk. And she did score a run in the game. First pitch comes in, ball 1. She steps back in. Pitch is going to catch the outside corner, strike 1.
That's a pretty pitch by Christy Hansen.
It
wow.
really was. It's not the one that Grant wanted. Grant should be familiar with that pitch.
You would think so.
She's been hitting that all afternoon. Still trying to get the outside corner. That one missed though. Ball 2, 2-1.
Just an inch or two too far outside. Still another good pitch. And Drake doing a very good job behind the plate as well, framing those pitches for the umpire.
So here's the 2-1 count. Hit out left side. I think that one will go foul and does so. Count remains, nope, even up, 2-2. We'll bring it back in. So Kelsey Grant steps in. We're even at 2, 2-2. No outs. That pitch is going to be a ball. The count goes to full. 3-2. Pitch didn't quite make it there. It was a little off speed, but landed short.
I don't know. I'm anticipating this pitch. Who's gonna win the battle here with the Christy Hansen and Grant? Pitcher to pitcher.
Pitch looks good. Fouled off on the left side. Outside the third baseline. So that'll be, count remains full. That was the 6th pitch in this encounter.
Duchesne so many times have gotten Christy Hansen deep into her pitch count.
Pitches in and up, and center fielder dropping back and catches it near the fence. If there was a warning track, it would have been there, but a nice catch by Maddie Grob.
Nice hit by Grant. Still, I guess she did get on base on balls, but yet not a hit yet in this game.
Lexi Moreland has a hit. She's
Next
up
up,
now.
number
She hit
8,
a double
Lexi
right to the
Moreland.
fence last time. That one was very close to going out. So Moreland 1 for 1 with a walk in the game. These two teams are going to bring back a lot of firepower coming up next year. Pitch comes in, off speed, ball 1. Trying to use, I think, Moreland's aggressiveness against her.
Right.
Give her an off speed pitch to start. Moreland steps back in. Pitch misses outside, ball 2.
Moreland, though, she doesn't panic in the box. She does a really good job keeping her head about herself and trying to, swing on the pitch she wants.
Yep, 2-0 the count. Hitters count for Lexi Moreland. That one's going to miss as well, so now it's trouble for Christy Hansen. As one of the best hitters on the field. Gets 3 cracks at this one.
So again, 3-0. Do you swing on the pitch? And it looks like her coach is going to talk to her. I'm guessing if Matt Robinson were here, he would tell me if I was the coach, I'd give her the green light. You swing all the way.
He's talking to her saying, hey, what do you want to do, Lexi? Well, Coach, I'd like to swing at it. Okay, just don't miss it, he said. She said, okay, Coach. What do you think? Is that close?
That sounds really boring, but maybe so.
Just wasn't very motivational.
Very calm. Maybe he's asking her what she wants for lunch.
3-0 pitch coming for Lexi Moreland from Blakely Christiansen. These two pitchers have been at 3-0, and I haven't seen one get too much trouble since. There's a pitch, and that was going to be high, ball 4. So base on balls, the with one down. Runner on board is Lexi Moreland, and that'll bring up Hallie Nelson. And she hit a single. She's 1 for 2 as she has an RBI in the game.
Next up for Duchesne, number 5, Hallie Nilsson.
1 out still, 2 for Duchesne. So wanting to advance Moreland around. Drake's like, try me.
So the catcher holding the catcher on first base. It's 2-1. Enterprise with down 1. Duchesne with the 1-run lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Duchesne with the runner on first, 1 down. Strike 1. So 1-1 the count. That was a good pitch. I'm a little bit surprised Nelson didn't put that one down. She'll look at the armband. Ooh, dangerous throw. 2-1 the count.
$75 degrees outside almost today, so the heat too, midday.
Yeah.
It can be a little bit taxing for these girls.
Here in a month, we'll think 75 is not heat.
That's true.
And there's a hit up in the air, and it's smart job by Moreland. That's out number 2. She didn't run on that and stayed at the base as she saw it go up, so no chance to double up. So F1, 2 out. 13-0 for Manta. Everybody goes over to see what's going on.
I think it's over.
Pitches,
nice hit.
Shot is hit, and that one will be fair, and that'll move the players around. And Moreland will go to third. Runners on the corners for the Duchesne Eagles. As Crum hits one on the right field line for a single.
And you could have not asked for a better hit for it to land where it did to advance that runner over. She gets safely to first, and now Duchesne, wow, with an opportunity to go up 3-1 with 2 outs.
Lexi Young will come to the plate, the first baseman for Duchesne, 0 for 2 on the afternoon. So what I'm assuming that they will not still come to second base with the arm of Drake behind the plate. We'll see. There's the pitch, and that was going to be hit.
Ooh.
Foul on the left side.
That was a line drive.
Almost into the dugout. That was close. Almost hit the on-deck batter. Young steps back in. 0-1 the count. Pitch. That one's going to be outside. Ball 1-1.
And the base runner on first, that is Cadence Crum. She's not getting too far off the bag.
Seen a few more hits later in the game. Didn't have hardly any at first. There's another foul ball that just about tags Grace Davis. Davis holds both hands up and says, oh, no more of those. That's twice. 1-2 the count. The big at-bats for both teams. Can Duchesne add the lead, or can Enterprise get out of a pickle? Here's the pitch for Christiansen. That will be a hit on the left side, and that will be foul ball just barely. That was close. Still 1-2 the count.
Saves the run for Duchesne as it is barely, maybe a foot or two out of bounds. Well, geez. What is the term here?
Foul. Foul ball.
Out of bounds. I blame you. You said that earlier.
There's a foul ball as well. So that's foul ball number 2. So we're at 5-6 pitches in this at-bat. And the count's still only 1-2. The battle between Lexi Young and Blakely Christiansen. Again, 1-2 the count. There's the pitch and hit to the shortstop. Reber across to first for the out. Enterprise out of the pickle.
And that was just a good play by Reber, calmly throwing it over to first base to get him out of the inning, and they dodge a bullet there as Duchesne was threatening to score. But heck, how exciting is it going into the 7th inning with a 1-run lead for the home team?
So in the inning, it will be Duchesne, no runs on 1 hit, no errors with 2 players left on. It all comes down to this, the top of the 7th coming up with Duchesne up 2-1 and Enterprise in their final at-bats.
Jones and DeMille Engineering is more than a civil engineering firm. They're shaping new opportunities for work and play, shaping the landscape in the rural Intermountain West, and shaping the communities that they're proud to be a part of. Their offices in Richfield, Manti, Price, St. George, Monticello, Springville, Roosevelt, and Tooele provide civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Pepper Gale. In the background, you hear Freddie Mercury belting it out. We are the champions, the Manti Templars, the 3A state champions. And they defeat the South Sun Wildcats 13-0. A little bit of a surprise. Manti got on a roll, and they take, I think that's their ninth, if I'm not mistaken, ninth softball state championship.
They're
one
a
of the
solid
states.
program.
Yep.
And here we go. Enterprise has 1 inning. They've got to score at least 1 run to go into the force in the bottom of the 7th. And they are at batters
5, 6, 7.
5, 6, and 7. So can Duchesne hold them in Forsman to 1 more game?
Humphreys, Christiansen, and Drake will come to the plate. The sophomore Brooke Humphreys 1 for 2 as she hit a single in her last at bat.
Well, and she's the one who got on base, got a pinch runner in, and got picked off at second.
Yeah,
so
that is true. So here we go. Last chance in this first game. Should Duchesne hold the lead, we go to game number 2 in the series. Humphreys will step in. Only 4 hits in the game for the Enterprise Wolves. One of those was Humphreys. That one will be outside, ball 1. Catcher did what she could, but I thought that was a bit outside.
And a little high almost looked like as well.
Yep. 1-0 the count. Enterprise has to score. The game's over. And there's a hit to deep right, left center. And wow, going backwards. Kind of a fallback catch for Hallie Nelson.
Did a good job getting underneath it and then squeezing it for out number 1. And Duchesne now 2 outs away from forcing game number 2.
Next up,
in
number
the
6,
2A state championships.
Likely Christiansen up. The sophomore pitcher will step up. She's 0 for 2 in the contest. Flew out to the second baseman and hit to the pitcher. 1 down. We're in the top of the 7th. Enterprise down 1. Strike 1.
Yeah, she went for it.
Oh, I didn't know it was a question.
Oh, yeah. The plate umpire, whatever this means, checked with
the appeal. They appealed.
And he
strike 1.
He pointed at it, but he called it a strike.
I was already documenting a strike, so I thought she went.
Well, it's a good thing, too, because you're using your book and pen.
That's right. Christiansen does get strike 2 on the corner for Grant. So the count 0-2 to the pitcher, Christiansen. Duchesne sensing victory. They're 2 outs away from forcing a final game 2 in this 2A state championship matchup. Pitches out, strike 3. So a strikeout for Kelsey Grant. And that's out number 2, down to 1 more out for Grant. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th strikeout of the afternoon.
Grant has just had a stellar performance from the circle this entire day. But hey, you know what? You can always do a solo home run to tie it up.
Haley Drake, 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Last time up, she hit a single to the fence. So here we go. Here's the pitch, and that one will be outside, ball 1.
You know, and not only like is the state championship on the line, but hey, handing Enterprise their first loss from a 2A school, that's
could be an accomplishment for Duchesne. There's Grant, pitch, and that one
ball 2.
Low, ball 2. That's the one. Left and right, we're good. It's the up and down we can't see from here. High in our luxury suite, overlooking the softball field. 2 outs. There's pitch and a hit, and that's going to be a base hit. So Haley Drake does her job, gets her second hit of the game, and Enterprise in business with base runner Haley Drake with Maddie Grob coming up. Grob 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
Well, and again, so I think we're going to see another speed up runner coming in for Humphreys, but two outs, tying run
Drake.
on first. Excuse me, for Drake. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the catcher, so they can do a hurry up runner. Looks like what they're going to do is bring up a pinch hitter, number 17. So number 17 is Hallie Christensen. Is my guess.
She'll bat for Grob.
So Christensen. She is I don't know what grade she is. She's batting .238 with 6 RBIs on the season. She'll bat from the left side.
You know, it's a bold strategy, I think, is, you know, here in the 7th inning, and you bring in somebody brand new, you know, trying to do something different. A lot of pressure for Christensen.
Oh, yes. We're in the top of the 7th inning. It's Duchesne 2-1, trying to force game 2. There's a hit to the pitcher. This could be it. And the Duchesne Eagles force game number 2 as they defeat the Enterprise Wolves 2-1 in the Spanish Fork Sports Complex. And we'll head to game 2. So in that one, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on.
Game 2 will be played in 15 minutes. Game 2 will be played in 15 minutes.
So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with Game 2 of the 2A State Softball Championship here from the Spanish Fork Sports Complex on Centricom Channel 10.